Yep. Okay. So yeah, hi guys. I'm Yanni. I'm known on Instagram as Yoni. Also my Discord name. I am primarily a digital artist, and NFTs has been something very interesting that I've been getting myself into lately. And I think first and foremost, I consider myself an artist before an NFT artist, if that makes sense, because I think NFTs is just this really interesting medium where which has a lot of potential, as Kamal has mentioned earlier. Uh, not only for not only for arts, but like transactions in general for the future. So today, yeah, I'm glad everyone can join me in exploring this world of NFTs as I will be demonstrating to you how we can actually mint an NFT onto the Ethereum blockchain through OpenSea. So shall I just start? All right, let me just share my screen. All right. Okay, you can see my screen, right? Okay. So I just yeah. All right. So I'll just get on with the presentation. So today this will be what we will be going through very briefly. Feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions. And yeah, so like I mentioned, I consider myself an image maker who makes images about isolation and existential abandonment. And I find the digital medium reflective of modern culture and how images are one of the many things we consume so voraciously and frequently. And so NFTs are interesting to me because they embody this spirit of consumption in a good way and in a bad way. We can go more into that later. So yeah, I find it extremely reflective of our times that this technology has emerged today. And yeah, so this is like, yep. Oh, is it? Hmm.
Um, this is an experimental platform for all of us, so I think maybe it could be a bandwidth issue. We try having Yenny, maybe you try turning off your own camera, see if the stream improves from your end. We'll let you
Okay.
know if you can see the screen. Tell you what, Yenny, maybe try unsharing and resharing again.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like for some reason it's not streaming. Yeah, I can see that he's trying a few times.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm Yurik. I'm a media artist and also a art lecturer at LaSalle. Just want to, I've been following NFT for a while, and some of my friends are actually going into it, but I haven't really jumped into this NFT yet. But I'm researching on some other, info and news on it. So I'm just curious to learn more about it. Thanks.
Hi, yeah, my name is Brian. So I'm just a musician and a music producer. So I don't know much about NFTs. I just heard heard about it from my friends. Then I went to Google search and found out more about it lah. So I was quite curious because I think it could be the next thing for musicians. Like streaming instead of streaming now, maybe perhaps musicians can somehow tap onto this NFTs because I saw some there's a band that actually sold their album as an NFT. So I'm quite curious now. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, can everyone see?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's working now. Great.
Okay. Sorry, some
yeah, we
technical
can
issues.
see.
I don't know what happened.
Everyone here is part of a live performance.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'm a visual artist and I work with emerging technology like VR, AR, projection mapping, virtual environments. Um, but I'm interested in NFTs in the way that, like, I guess I'm more interested in how it can affect digital art. Like, if, like, in terms of the way that people are, I guess, like, in terms of ownership, like, for a singular person to own like a digital asset versus like a community that can own a digital asset. I don't know. I'm like I've never minted anything. So this is like quite helpful for me. And yeah, I want to explore it in that context. Like what does owning a digital asset really mean? And yeah, why is it significant today? Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me? Oh, okay, great. So I'll just continue from where I left off, lah. Yeah. So these are some of the artworks that I do. Um, yeah, I don't know how to categorize them, but I think the closest I probably got was collage surrealism. Yeah. So they're all created in um in a digital format by photo manipulation. And so when I first came across NFTs, I always wondered like there seemed to be this certain style of NFTs that existed, usually created in 3D. So I didn't think that these works would be like popular as NFTs, but uh, I was wrong lah. I was quite lucky that some people thought that this would look good as an NFT. So that was how I started minting. Uh, I don't know if this is too loud, but if you can still hear my voice, I will talk. Yeah, so this is also created in 3D. Um, and yeah, it's one of the explorations of the 3D works for me. And this next one also is using a similar format. Yeah, and this one. Yeah, so my practice right now is really just really exploring the different mediums that are available to us in this day and age. Uh, had a background in traditional like fine art, but I feel that you can do so much with digital stuff too. So that's why I am exploring it right now. So apart from this, I'm also exploring like creating interiors. I think this has always been something that I wanted to do, and yeah, just really trying to have fun and make things that I think are nice. And another thing I've been learning is digital sculpting because I don't know, it just feels so realistic. Like you can render these like digital clay into into objects that really look so real. So I'm just like fascinated by the possibilities of um digital sculpting. Yeah, so back to the lesson. um, what exactly are NFTs, right? I think that's the question that a lot of people ask. They've heard of it, but at its core, right, it's the concept of fungibility that is is the key. So fungibility means that something is mutually interchangeable, right? So that means that, for example, 1 kg of gold, you exchange it for another kg of gold, and both parties will be happy. Same like you would for like a barrel of oil, exchanging for another barrel of oil. And but the thing about non-fungibility is that something is unique and one of its kind. So this can be artworks or digital tokens that are encrypted in the blockchain, right? So NFTs are basically like a one-of-a-kind asset that exists online that is managed by a digital ledger, and this ledger always keeps track of all the transactions made to confirm the authenticity of the token. Oops, sorry about that. Yep. Um, and the reason why they are so popular now is because uh anyone can use them, right? Anyone can be a creator, from graphic designers to street artists to digital creators and even musicians. NFTs have created this whole new buying and selling platform for the art world. And yeah, businessmen have also come on board when they realize how game changing this platform can be in means of as a means of exchange, not just for art. And yeah, OpenSea is actually one of the more popular sites that allows you to list NFTs, as I will be demonstrating later. And it's currently evaluated at $1.5 billion. So it's exciting. And yeah, personally for me, what I like about NFTs is how it makes it easier for collectors to collect more, to connect more, sorry, personally with creators. The traditional route would usually be like to keep churning out works and display them in a gallery. But now your gallery is the World Wide Web, and the marketing game has changed dramatically. Plus, content creators can sell their artworks like anywhere and anytime, you know? Yeah. So, is everyone still with me? So I need some feedback because I can't hear anybody.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now these are three of the platforms that I would like to share with you today. OpenSea, Foundation, and I really don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's a I don't know from what origin that is from. But okay, so basically OpenSea is probably the largest marketplace for NFTs right now, and especially with their new free minting a ledger, you can actually upload your works onto the Ethereum blockchain or any other blockchain for free. Yeah, I'll go more into that later. Usually, in the past, it was actually you had to pay quite a bit, about 100 USD, just to do minting of one NFT. So yeah, so they've come a long way. But the cons, right, to that platform is that it's usually quite saturated with a lot of other creators due to its popularity. So visibility might be an issue if you want to get your work known. The alternative would be Foundation, and Foundation is actually a more serious space where collectors who join are more serious about collecting our works, simply because you need to be accepted into Foundation in order to sell, right? And in order to be accepted, you have to go through this process called the community upvote, which is basically a process of vetting to make sure that you're not somebody who's just in it for the quick cash grab, like uploading something, some meme, and like trying to sell it for $1 million, right? So this community upvote means that you actually have to get a bunch of people to upvote you to let Foundation know that you are a serious artist, right? So you can do this through various means. You can publicize your artworks on Instagram or other social platforms, and people will to get know your art more, know that you're serious, and then you can ask them to give you an upvote. Right. For the last platform, it actually uses the Tezos blockchain, and this platform is I'm not really familiar with it. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because apparently they use a more environmentally friendly approach when it comes to minting. because I will get to this later, but each NFT transaction emits a certain amount of carbon emissions. Yeah. So on to the live demonstration of minting. Okay, is everyone still with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, I will take you. Okay, so okay, the first thing you need to do, right, is to get this thing called MetaMask. Okay, I don't know how many of you are familiar with crypto, because when you mint, you're basically interacting with the crypto blockchain, with cryptocurrency. So you need to have this thing called a digital wallet. And there are many digital wallets you can use, but the one I'm using is MetaMask. So don't know. I think due to time constraint, I cannot demonstrate to you how to do MetaMask, but basically I can show you how to get it. Basically, just Google MetaMask, you install it for whatever browser you're using, you click it, and basically it adds up as an extension. Okay, it appears here, as you can see, is the Fox mask. Yeah, so I've already added it as an extension. So, hello, did someone say something? Oops, okay. No worries. Yeah, so once you add it as an extension, then you can uh use it for transacting. Okay, then okay, I'll just do this all over again. I'll just go to Google, type OpenSea, right? And this is the website you'll be using. Okay, OpenSea.io. When you go inside, it will look like this. Alright. And the first thing you want to do is, okay, I'm already connected. Let me log out. Okay. So now you will see this icon over here, my profile. And basically what you want to do is you want to just go into it. And because you probably won't have a profile set up at that point in time. But basically what they need you to do first is to sign in to make sure to authenticate you as an actual user of the blockchain. So you sign in here, and I'm inside because my MetaMask wallet is already attached. Okay, I don't know whether I lost anybody at this point. Can anybody sound off if they are lost? If not, I will just continue.
I think so far so good. We
Oh, right.
install MetaMask, set up the wallet, and then we sign up for OpenSea account, and you try and connect your e-wallet to your MetaMask wallet to this account, right?
Yes, correct.
Mm.
That's right. All right. So now that we are here, you can see this is like the collection of the artworks that I've already minted, right? And the first thing you want to do when you want to sell is you go to, sorry, not this one. You go to collections over here, my collections. Okay, you click it. Then you have the option of creating a collection. So basically, a collection is like a storefront. Don't know whether that makes sense. You need this collection in order to put your NFTs inside, right? So it's like a folder lah with different files. So as you can see, I created a few collections already, but I will go to the one that I'll be minting on. Uh, okay, this one. So this is my collection. And under this collection, yeah, you have a lot of stats for people to look at. Anyone with a computer can look at these stats, by the way, which is the attractive thing about NFTs, right? Because of its transparency and that there's no like middleman to kind of withhold certain information from you. I mean that's what they say. So far it's been okay for me. Yeah. So as you can see, these are the artworks that uh, have been minted on this platform. Yeah, so today I'll be adding this a new artwork that I haven't minted yet. So you go to the top here, add item, and it will take you to this page. Oh wait, you need to sign in first. So basically, it's like signing in again like you're signing in to your wallet. Yeah, it's a bit confusing, I know. But anyways, after you sign in, right, they'll take you to this page. Okay, then this is the fun bit lah, where you drop all the whatever artwork you want. So I have here, let me do this again. I will go to this box here, which says a drag and drop. Click it, and they'll prompt you to upload your artwork that you want to mint. So today I'll be minting this. Okay, so now that it is now the image has been selected, you have to name it. Right, and this is optional, right? You can include a URL, right, for users to learn more about your work. A description, you can make something simple. Let me just make something up. And yeah, and this is the collection. So this is where your item will appear, like mentioned earlier, right? Okay, and these other details, right? You actually don't have to worry about them. They are more like they are more for like creating of gaming assets for people who want to like create characters, right? You can add your properties, like what kind of type is it, like a warrior or something? What name is it, right? So yeah, you don't. I haven't actually used these. It's not very important. Yeah, and then the supply right now you can only mint one for free. It says here, right? They say quantities above one coming soon, and this has been a while already. So I don't know how quickly they'll get to this. But yeah, essentially that is it, right? I go through again, upload your image, title, external link, description, and the collection that your item will appear under. Right? Any questions at this point? Hmm. So far, yes, you can mint more than one at a time, right? So usually they do like in addition. So like you can mint one artwork and you can mint like 100 copies of them. So after 100 copies have been minted, no one can buy it anymore. But so far, the only platform that offers this for free is OpenSea. Yes, correct. That's why I'm demonstrating on this platform. Yeah. But I also,
Question.
yes.
So if there's like only one copy can be minted on OpenSea, what if like you go to like other platforms, can you mint the same image?
The funny thing is you can do that.
You can. So
Yeah.
there's like multiple copies on
Yes,
other platforms as well.
correct. The
I
only
see.
mm, mm, mm.
So
Yeah.
But
No,
like
okay.
are there any like I guess like initiatives if like so for example someone took your JPEG or whatever and then they minted it. Like is there copyright protection for like the original poster?
At the moment, no.
Maybe can I ask
All you rely on is your reputation as an artist, so that people like when they see it, they know that it is your work.
or
So
can
yeah,
I
it's
ask
very dangerous. Yes.
can I ask if you can sort of encrypt the metadata or create like a certificate for such work? Because for digital works there are also additions, or now we can use some encryption codes.
Yeah. So okay. So one alternative that artists have been doing so far, right, is actually what they do is they upload a very low quality image onto this, and they say that the link that they send is to the artist's website. Okay, so once the buyer purchases this NFT, the artist will send the actual file, like the high quality file, to the buyer, right? So this is to prevent like copyright issues lah, or rather like fight against it.
And
Okay,
then
then
this is like a oh
is there,
sorry, go ahead.
okay. Just a very quick question. Is there a way that the buyer or it won't resell the work or copy it, like do some duplication to it? Yeah, Joanne,
It's
sorry.
Yeah, that's a good question. So when you mint an artwork, right, you still own the artist still owns all the rights to it. The only thing what the artist is actually doing is he's creating a digital version. Okay, no, that's not a good explanation. Like he's creating a copy of the artwork that is present on that is encrypted into the blockchain, right? So whatever the collector does with the blockchain, with the artwork on the blockchain, is up to the collector's discretion. Because whatever he does will be recorded in the blockchain, as I'll show you later. Like it has like a whole history of transactions. Uh, mm, yeah, so I work with a few lawyers, and they mentioned that right now there's no law that is specific for NFTs because this is so new, right? So as Ernie said, yeah, this like the law is definitely catching up to this new technology.
Yeah. Actually, I have something to add to that. So there's a recent case of someone else minting another person's work on another platform and reselling it. So what has been done is actually a lot of community policing. So say someone minted this artist minted his work on Foundation, Ethereum based platform, and his work has been reminted by someone else on Hikenang, Tezos-based platform. So what has been done is that the community has been actively reporting the minted works on Hikenang because that is not owned by him. And the admins of the other platform is trying to take it down because the beauty of NFTs is that a lot of it is very community driven, and say platforms like Foundation and Super Rare or even Known Origin, the curated ones at least have very strict policies against work that is copyrighted. So you have to upload your own work, if not it will be taken down. And because everything is transparent on the blockchain, say everything is linked to your wallet, right? People would know, like, with just a quick search on say a service like Etherscan on the transactions that have been made. So there's a little bit more transparency in that.
Yeah, I noticed there's no raise hand feature here, so have to. Hey, thanks, Dom. I think what you're raising is very interesting. I study emergent self-organizing groups as part of my dissertation, and systems like this where the architecture is not built in yet, right? It's interesting because, like what you said, community policing, neighborhood watch format is the first layer. But I would think also that the platform themselves, as a policymaker, they either use human beings or technology to then possibly help detect such occurrences. That will be the second layer. Just like how YouTube has copyright strikes that are auto-enabled through machine learning, and it actually knows like if a similar work has been uploaded before, if a similar music has been used before, the system can auto strike. So I guess those things will come online at some point. But the highest echelon, which may be the third layer, it's something that the museums are also looking at, is the idea of AI provenance or AI-driven provenance to help detect similarities between things that are uploaded. And much like how in college nowadays, there's I forgot the name of that system, but when you write a paper, there's a software. Turn it in, yes, yes. So a bit like turn it in for NFT artworks lah. See whether got somebody produce it before or not, you know. But I'm curious to see how people will thwart that system. For example, if you reverse the image, if you change the colors, AI systems can still adapt around it. But this is an area of work where, since I'm working in a museum, I'm also very curious. I'm keeping an eye because provenance is a very big thing that doesn't just affect digital artworks. It's been affecting physical artworks for a very long time. And I've seen some headway being done whereby some developers have tried to use phone cameras to take snapshots of the canvas itself or to detect a fingerprinting of the work. So there are several efforts trying to help with that part. But you can see that, you know, from a community level all the way to industrial level, everybody's trying to attack it to solve the problem at different levels. So just want to share that there's some light at the end of the tunnel for this lah. And we're a very exciting pioneering stage. So it's very nice to see all this work being done. Back to you, Ernie or Yenny.
Yep.
Sorry, I have one question. Can I interrupt?
Sure.
Okay. Back to your what you were trying to say. So about the uploading, what's the minimum size or maximum size Is there a size limitation?
Yeah, that's
that
it.
will. Mm.
Let me go back. So it says it over here. These are all the file types that are supported. You can even upload like an MP4 file. It can be a GIF, and the next size is 40 megabytes. Yeah, correct. So for OpenSea, the max right now is 40 MB. So and how people work around this is, as I mentioned earlier, you can send an external link that only the collector, right, can access.
So like
So
it's a
you,
common practice that like that people will upload lower res files, or do you have to write it in the description? Like if like if you buy it, then we'll send you like the higher resolution
yeah,
or like
ideally
the actual
you
file.
write it in the description,
Okay.
but it's not like a norm. Usually people just upload this as the actual artwork. Yeah. Hope that answers the question.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Any more questions? All right. Yeah. So after all this is done, I'll just click create. And this has been created, as you can see here, and I can visit it in my collection. So it will take me back to my collections. Okay, so this I need to brief you guys about what you're looking at right here. Basically, it's a page where you can see the price history and the transaction details of this artwork, right? So yeah, there's a lot of information to look at, but the most important one is probably who it's owned by. Right now, it's owned by me because I just minted it, right? And you can see the description I made just now, and these are the offers, right? So whoever wants to buy this will go to this site, and you can sell this in different ways. One of them is auctions. Another one is you just list a price, and whoever feels that price is right, they will just offer you the amount of Ethereum that you asked for. Yeah, it will all be shown here. Yeah, and the trading history is here. Okay, so one thing that was not shown during this minting process, right, is the transaction fees needed to mint. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that OpenSea is now free for everyone to mint, right? Mint on, right? But the thing is, there is a first time transaction fee. This is just they say that this is just to kind of uh, like to know that you to verify that you are a and not a bot or like a false user, right? So there needs to be this first time where uh, the transaction is made from your wallet. That means you have to go to your MetaMask and you have to upload some amount of cash and convert it into Ethereum. Okay, so I'm saying this because I don't want you guys to think that there are some other hidden costs. Okay, so this is probably the only cost that you will pay. It depends on the fluctuation of the. I mean, it depends on the exchange rate at that time. I forgot how much my first transaction cost. I think about 70 USD, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, to some people that might be a lot because it really depends on like the state of the exchange rate at that time. Because before it was like 100 USD or something, or more, even more than that. I can't remember. Yeah,
But
so
for
yes.
like for the first fee in terms of like Ethereum, how much is that? That is the first time fee.
Yeah, so it depends on the exchange rate at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's not set.
it's not set yet.
I see.
That's the thing. It's not set. Yeah, it's very it fluctuates like mad. So it's so difficult. Like you have to, yeah, and even the yes, correct. As you saw just now when I minted, they didn't ask me to do any other transaction. It's already inside the Ethereum blockchain. This thing, this island. Yeah. So expect to spend around, give or take, 100 USD the first time you mint. Yeah, I would say that's a good amount. Any questions?
Do they take like a, because I'm like wondering how, I mean, there's like the first time fee, but then how do they stay operational? Do they take a cut of the price?
Yes. So they don't put it here, I think. But whenever the transaction is made, the OpenSea takes 10%, if I'm not wrong. No, I didn't. You have the option to sell it here. Then you can set the price. Yeah, correct. Not sure. Maybe I can just demonstrate. Yeah, so this is the I click the sell button, and this is all the different options for you. You can set a price, or you can auction it for the highest bidder, or you can bundle it with a bunch of other NFTs. Over here, you can state your price. So for this, no, 0.5. uh, I'm playing the long term game. Uh,
And you
yeah,
can
no,
change this price at any time.
no, actually, I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's very nice to change your price because people usually, when they look at your work, they will already kind of have an idea of how much they're willing to pay. Then if you change it, like, I don't know, it might upset them, you know?
Yeah, because I was like thinking about like something like an artwork that changes its price depending on like, I guess, its demand, which would be interesting as like an, I don't know, like an experiment, but there's no way to like maybe link the price to an algorithm or like code. Is
Yeah,
there?
no,
No.
I'm not. I don't think there is at this point in time. But there's
Okay.
a reason why I set it at this price, is because this price is based on the previous NFTs that I've sold. You cannot just like sell it too high or too low. So my previous NFT that I sold was 0.88 Ethereum. So back then it was around 4.5 Sing, 4.5K Sing. Yeah. So so that you cannot set a price which is too different, because the buyers will also have access to the transaction history, correct? So they also don't want to be kind of like losing out, if they see it. Yeah, correct. So I will get to that later presentation. But yeah, so
Wait, I
there's
have one more
yeah.
question.
Okay.
So like when someone buys your work, they can resell it, and then that's on them. Like you have no part to play in how they resell it.
Great question. Okay, so this is why NFTs is so amazing, right? Whenever you sell, or rather whenever your collector sells your artwork, you will always get royalties. So
There's
if
no, so you have no say in how they sell it.
oh yeah, correct, you don't. It
Okay.
belongs to them.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you're concerned about like the potential earnings, uh, the royalties you earn will be from every transaction made in the future
Right.
forever. Yeah, that's why NFTs.
Forever.
Yeah, at least that's what they say.
And then
Yeah.
like if you, so like in the future, like if you know you die, like who does the money go to in the future? Do you have to like pass on your, I don't know, your IP or something like in your will? Is there like something in policy or law that like applies here?
In the blockchain world, you will never die.
But
So the
they
money
go
will always go.
to
The money will always go to that wallet, that
okay,
digital
so
wallet. So if you
someone can
pass that,
inherit your
yeah,
wallet. I
yes,
see.
correct.
Okay.
But basically, your identity is your wallet. To put it simply, I hope that
Okay,
makes sense.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, and over here, I'd like to bring your attention to the fees. These are the fees. 10% goes to the collection and 2.5% goes to OpenSea. Yeah, so total of 12.5%. And it's okay, so the this is the like the tricky part, right? So it's free to mint, right? But they collect the fees afterwards, after you sold the piece. Right. So yep. Yeah, it's weird, right? I think it's probably just OpenSea lah. They just want to find a nice way to package it. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, correct. But the good thing is that you don't have to pay it first. You know, you only pay it once your artwork has been sold. So it gives a better incentive for people to buy your work, or for you to sell your work. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Yeah, so if there are no other questions, I will be posting my listing right now.
Quick, go buy.
Huh?
Go and buy.
Goodbye.
The rest of us.
So I just clicked the listing, and right now they open my MetaMask. All I need to do is sign to confirm that I am authorizing this. And since I've already logged in my MetaMask, they know this is me. So I just click sign, and then I'll wait for it. Usually it's quite fast. It's quite fast, and there we go. Congrats, we've minted the work. 4.5 Ethereum.
Nice.
Yeah. So what I can do is this is actually the next part of my presentation, marketing. So okay, so the thing as I mentioned earlier, like on OpenSea is very saturated with other artists or other people who are not artists because everyone can mint for free, right? So it attracts like literally anyone who wants a quick cash grab. So what you can do is actually go here. You see this button here? It's called share. You click it and you can share on these different platforms. Right. Usually what I like to do is like I just share on my Twitter and or on my or I just copy a link and post it on Instagram or something like that on my website. So that's one of the ways you can market your NFTs. Yeah. Okay, it's already 12:30. Don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'll just get into the marketing side of things. As I mentioned earlier, yeah. So Twitter is actually the most used social media platform right now for artists to promote their NFTs. And Instagram comes in second. And the thing you must note about NFTs is that people usually with the largest existing followings already have an advantage because they have more reach. Compared to someone with, say, 1 million followers, when they post on Instagram that they just minted something, as compared to someone with only 1,000 followers, yeah, you get the point. And yeah, as I think we really addressed this, don't infringe upon any copyright materials and make sure you put your own original art on the blockchain. And lastly, I just want to like share with you some of the environmental impacts of NFTs, because there's a lot of hoo-ha going on about whether this is like environmentally friendly or not friendly. So yeah, I just want to share you that as a case study, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Richard Serra's sculptures, but basically, if you mint one NFT that is about 100 kg of carbon emissions, it costs around 300 kilograms of carbon to make this sculpture you can see over here called Snake. And so that equates to about 3,000 NFTs. So yeah, there's a lot of debate going on as to whether NFTs are actually more environmentally responsible than traditional artworks. And not to forget that you also need to, there's a lot of carbon emissions that go on and transporting these real traditional artworks that can be as heavy as this 300 this 180 ton steel sculpture you see on the screen. Yeah.
So I guess the irony that you're trying to bring here is that even though these works are entirely digital or virtual, there is a material impact on the world, that is the electrical consumption and all the energy that we have to generate just to process NFT transactions, right? On this note, I think Eugene, if you're still here, this similar question was posed to Accenture and us in the early days, because when we were doing Adopt Now, the blockchain crowdfunding project in the Gary Explorer app, I think one thing we learned was that the bulk of these carbon emissions came from actually cryptocurrency, where the transactions is in the milliseconds. So versus NFT artworks or NFT works, transactions on an NFT level might not be as violent or volatile or as quick or as frequent as NFT. So I just wanted to share this perspective that I think the bulk of the ecological discussion came from the cryptocurrency side of things, lah. But it doesn't discount NFT entirely, lah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Matrix, right? When like there's this virtual world that exists, but it has like real life consequences nonetheless. Yeah.
Oh,
And yeah, you can go to these links that are on the screen later for your own reading pleasure. If not, thank you so much for listening to this. It's an honor to talk.
cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Correct. Okay. Do you think now is a good time for us to like switch on our video since I've stopped live streaming? Yeah. All right. So yeah, maybe I can share about how I got to that. How I decided on the price of my first NFT, right? So basically, I mean, all of you are aware of Meta, right? The guy who invested 69 million into the first NFT. Yeah, so basically he runs this place called the Metaverse, and I just submitted something. There was kind of this fund. I guess they were trying to support up and coming NFT artists for like through their metaverse, and so I just submitted an application. So basically, uh what sorry, what's his name? Yeah. So basically what he did was that he sent his Metacoven sent my link to his acquisitions head, and his acquisitions head liked my work, and so that's how he found me on OpenSea. Yeah, that's really it. He Yeah. No, actually, the funny thing is I didn't even list it before, because that was when NFTs were not free to mint, right? So I was like, I don't have the money for this, so I'll just wait it out. And luckily enough, when uh the acquisitions head contacted me, he told me that he asked me like, do I have any works up for sale at the moment? And he was like, quickly go and mint it. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. So I went on OpenSea, and at that time that was when they started their free minting ledger, and then I was like, okay, yep, let's do it. I just minted something, and immediately, like within 2 hours, he bought it for 0.88 Ethereum. Yeah,
That's quite a lot of money right there. So
yeah. I was in college when I
you're
got that news, and I
like,
was
what?
just like, what? Like, I
Yeah.
literally couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep that night. I was thinking of all the
I need to think about
possibilities.
the piles of money we diving.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
but to be so
yeah. I hope so too. For
so it's
all
so
of us.
interesting because a lot of our artist friends here they have to take on a second job, right, or at least a job to complement their artistic endeavors. I mean, for yourself, I mean, I don't know if you're doing this full time or is this your a part time thing.
Yeah, this is a part-time thing.
Do you think
Like mentioned.
do you think it's sustainable to just focus and be an artist if this works out?
Oh, definitely. Okay, so how I see NFTs, right, is it's just basically like an add-on, right? You don't have to focus solely on the creation of digital assets. This is what you can do as like without NFTs, right? You're already making artworks, am I right? You're already posting them on your website. You're already creating them for yourself, right? And what NFT does is just it offers you an additional platform for you to sell your work. So it's really you don't have to focus solely on NFTs. You can just make your own art as you would anyways, and yeah, just mint it as and when you like.
For OpenSea as a platform, do people mint like physical objects there?
Physical objects, yes, they do.
What
So what
about
they do is
like,
they
yeah,
take a
go ahead.
picture, they take a picture of it, they mint it. Okay, so they now whoever buys that that token owns like access to whatever the artist claims put it up for. So probably the artist would be like, yeah, if you buy this NFT, I will send you the whole sculpture or something like that.
What if it's, what about like durational performative pieces? Is that a thing?
It is. So you can upload it as a
Really?
movie file. Some even upload audio files. So only a certain number of people can have access to this music. And what some businessmen have been doing, right, is they are very well known in like in business in general, right? I don't know whether you guys know of Gary V. So what he did was he minted 200 NFTs, right? They're going for like, I don't know, 2,000 USD or something along those lines each, right? And what you do is when you buy one of them, you have 5 minutes of video call with him. Yeah, so it's 5 minutes of video call. Yeah, so you can. It's really up to you to be as creative as you want with this new platform. Yeah, it's at this moment it's really quite limitless.
Yeah, I know there's also a musician here, Brian, right? It's just to share the the there's so many artifacts you can NFT. The sky's the limit. The musical scores, like, and all that. Uh, as long as you got something that is one of a kind or original, you can already make it happen.
Oh,
Yep.
thanks for that. Yeah, I was very curious when I saw that musicians are tapping into this as well. So yeah, definitely worth a look at for me as well.
Actually, there's quite a few music NFTs I've come across. So like one of my friends, her music NFT is that once you buy the piece, then it will go up on Spotify. And I think you can also set the contract to like the person who owns the piece gets a cut of the royalties.
From Spotify, so it becomes a business venture. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that was the thing that she told me. So like it's a team of them. So what they did is that they made a piece, one illustrator, the musician, and like the songwriter. Then they came together make this track, and then they sold it on Foundation, and, and they set the royalties or something like for the owner, where let's say like you get 4.20% royalties if you own the piece on the track. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
changes dynamics.
there's quite a few. So for Crypto Art Week, the first one we did in January, there's this musician, Major One. She's based in Singapore, I think. She launched her EP as an NFT also.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, so yeah, I'm also very amazed by the royalty feature. So I mean, like, every single transaction that takes place in future, they get a cut of it.
Yeah, I
So
think
does that
that's
when someone sells an album or an EP, does that mean that there's limited copies, or is it like unlimited? And then, yeah, what happens?
I think it's more like you get to own that piece of digital information. I mean, that part I am not so sure like how it works, because I think it's based on how the what's that, how the contract is written, the smart contract.
Maybe,
But
Dom, maybe I can jump in on that. Because I also get this question quite a lot. In the pure essence of what the person's buying, right? You're buying the sense of ownership. And you can almost think of it as a certificate or title to prove that you own that piece. But as to, for example, if Yoni were to put up his images, people can screenshot it. People could duplicate the image file, but you do not still own that piece in the legal sense of things and all that. So the blockchain smart contract is quite legally bound in that sense, in that all transactions are mapped out. So the media could be copied, but that owner, title, deed, and all that is yours. That's the difference.
Right, but so for OpenSea, you probably wouldn't want to sell your EP on OpenSea because there's only one copy, and then like if other people want to listen to it, then you'd have to resell it. Like, is that the case?
not really, but let's say you sell your EP, right? The person that buys it, the NFT for it, is kind of like the owner of that EP. So maybe what can be included, and this is also like a point of debate, like to the usage rights. It could also be like the person can then reuse the track for their own purposes, or can do like remixes or like some various additions. So an example would be in terms for art, right, would be the Bored Apes collectibles. When you own a Bored Ape, you can make variations of that exact Bored Ape that you own. So like you can do it in 3D, you can do it in your own style, you can make like uh your own version of it. But that could also apply to music, and this is also like up for debate because some collectors are debating whether artists should include usage, right? But at the same time, I mean, it really is up to the artist because it's still your work. So maybe you can list down like the terms of usage when you own the NFT. I mean, NFT in the very simple Singaporean context is like COE for cars. Right? You kind of own that certificate that you can own the car.
Yeah, I have a question slash comment. So I mean, seeing the how NFT art can be quite volatile. I'm also looking at just now what Yoni has pointed out, the example of Richard Serra, where he still has that physical work, but of course then he sort of minted different parts of it, like 100 kilogram of steel or carbon into the NFT. So in that NFT world, your work could be another version, and but then your original work, of course, you can still own that original work. So, but there's some artists who created work straight off from on a digital platform, so there are no physical part of it. And I think in that case, it can be a totally experimental kind of a transaction because the blockchain community could help you, but you also are not the sole owner, like in a traditional transaction in the physical world. So artwork in NFT could be something of another alien life form. You know, it exists on a different set of rules, or no, or there's no rules. And then your work has another version of it, be it whether you created from a physical work or it's totally on a digital platform. Am I making sense?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because you can, I mean, the NFT or the act of minting NFT can be the art itself. So, say for example, Pack, the artist, right? He minted the same piece, and by the artwork is actually the title of the pieces. Yeah. So I mean, there's no. I feel personally there's no restriction to how art can be, but NFT is just another medium that things can be traded or sold or even displayed on.
Yeah, and it's not. No, sorry. Yeah, please.
Yeah, maybe I sorry, I add to your comment just now because sometimes it's very difficult for people to comprehend. Not so deep into this. I did my first OpenSea post, and that post went corrupted. Until now, I cannot see my artwork. So anyway, I didn't have the time to follow up. But the thing is, I know it's there. I understood the whole concept. I think what you're saying is that because people always, because we are accustomed to the physical thing, physical object, and then you are accustomed to the fiat money, so like the US dollars or the Singapore dollars. So when this crypto landscape is very confusing, because if you don't understand cryptocurrency, you don't understand the exchange of Ethereum, and then that is where people get very confused. And then you tell them to look into NFT, they start looking into crypto, and they get carried away, and then it becomes another story. So like I think it is to me as an old man, it's very much like stamp duty. It's like last time when you have an agreement with the government agency, you want to sell a house or rent a house or something like that, then you go to the post office and you get a stamp duty. So I think it's very much something like that. So this is a digital stamp duty. Sorry, so it's very much like a digital stamp duty. Sorry. I just suddenly don't know how to do this. Okay, so yeah, so they no they you know, like photography. I think this will benefit a lot of photographers, because in the past when you take a photograph, there's a negative film, you know. And then so if you sell the photo, you know, and for me as a painter, I cannot understand how photography can be so expensive, you know. It's just a print. Someone can print again. So who owns the negative? But now people don't photograph with negative. Everything is digital photography, you know. So technically, when you meet that NFT, that means you are giving that what you say, the alien life form, that means it's an entity. So it becomes an entity. And the best part is that when I look at auction house, like things can sell for 400 million or 60 million or whatever amount, how much of the money will go to the maybe Leonardo da Vinci's family? No, none, zero. You know, even so when I'm gone, any of my paintings that 40, 50 years from now get sold, my family will not see a single cent. But now with this NFT, it means there is how you call this longevity to a legacy, and you know. So yeah, so that's the thing. I think just we have to educate people. Mostly when I talk to them, they cannot understand this equation. So I'm thinking of I mean, basically, you can give away the prints for free, but they don't own the source file. And again, it's not the source file. Even the source file can be stolen. It can be stolen or transferred. Why is it that you don't have the entity to you don't have ownership to the entity to make money out of that? You know? Yeah, I hope that. Sorry, I just too excited about this.
I think
No, you
it,
make
it can
really good
be
point.
yeah,
Yep.
it can be a bit like I mean it reminds you of the open source movement quite early in the computer days. Sort of like saying that I'm very old. But in the early days in the 90s or even late 80s, open source is quite uh quite a big thing in America, where engineer can create a software, pull out on open in open source with the codes, and anyone can download and adjust it, amend it, and put it back again, put it back in the open source, and it can be shared like that. It's not like owned by just one person. But of course, everyone has integrity in not misusing the file or the software until IBM came along and uh, like monopolized everything. But I think that's a kind of a similar spirit. Yeah.
Hi. So, I mean, I think Discord is more informal. So, I tend to not treat it like Twitter Spaces or what's the other one? Clubhouse. I don't use Clubhouse, by the way. Uh, but it's better for building communities because you can like chat anytime you want. And we do like for Photography Asia, we did like AMA sessions with some famous people in the NFT scene, say like 888 or uh, People Pleaser. So it became a more like casual setting, like rather as compared to spaces. Whereas Clubhouse and spaces is always one person talking and everybody listening. So this Discord is good lah, definitely. I love Discord because you can add bots also. Yeah, to play, like to add music and to play games. That's a different thing altogether. It's a more casual, informal setting. Definitely use Groovy bot. There's this bot called Groovy, so you can add music to the voice chat. Yeah. Or like just use it to stream Spotify music without having to pay Spotify premium. That's a hack there.
Yeah, I really like Slack because of the underground nature. And I used to use, Discord, but I used to use Slack with the bots lah to integrate with like Asana and other stuff. But then in here, I see people come up with bots that are really, really interesting. There are bots that are tracking the stocks of GPUs around. So the minute one shows up, the bot will alert you. You can even set it up to purchase on your behalf. So it's sniping lah, sniping. But yeah, it's really amazing this platform because you can build software inside here as well.
Yeah, and in crypto space also, you can make bots to track crypto prices.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, maybe we should have a class on Discord bots. I mean, who knows, right? Like that would be quite fun also. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, I can.
People usually just link me. They're like, you might find this interesting. And then I'm like, actually, for the
social
National
media.
Gallery, yeah, social media. For the National, for Light Tonight, someone sent me the link to the open call. So that's how I applied. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, apart from exploring just on internet, just trawling the internet, but there's also a lot of groups, whether it's from museums or whether it's from smaller art collectives. There's a lot of things going on. So I mean, just be involved and engage with them.
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks, Yanni. Thanks for
You're welcome.
taking up all my very, very basic questions.
Oh, good question.